Hey guys, it's me Soda here, welcome back to another video. So I just wanted to kind of sit down and make a video talking about some kind of more recent things that's been happening with my life, I guess, and some of my pets. Now, I don't want this video to be a sad video. I don't like making sad videos. I don't like talking about bad things happening to my pets, but I also don't want to not tell you this stuff. Now, I already made a post about this on Instagram, but I thought I should probably do something here as well. Not a lot of people will see like community posts and Instagram posts and stuff as well. And I don't know, maybe this video might be comforting for people going through the same thing, or I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it, which I don't usually do because it's kind of a weird concept. Like, one of the important things about being a pet YouTuber is that when something happens to a pet, if they pass away or if they get sick, you have to like make a few posts about it, telling everyone like what happened, which isn't a bad thing, obviously. Like, obviously I want you guys to know, but I mean, like, you kind of have to live through that again and again, because obviously I want to tell you guys what happened, but it's hard to, you know? It's been about a week now since Rin passed away. As you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I have 3 cockatiels. This is Yuki. He's usually the most visible one of my videos. This is Tofu, and the other one was Rin. She was my female cockatiel. Tofu and Rin were originally my partners, but then once my partner moved in with me a couple of years ago now, obviously they also became like my pets too. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago, careful buddy, Rin started showing signs of being sick. It just started off at first just her being a little bit more tired than usual, sleeping a bit more, and then she started like regurgitating a lot and throwing up. So I took her to the vet as soon as I could. That's very unusual for my birds. Sometimes birds can regurgitate like as a bonding thing, but this wasn't that. It was just like constant regurgitation, and she was, you know, sleepy at the same time, so it just wasn't that, you know. So I took her to the vet, and they gave her an injection at the time of like fluids and stuff to rehydrate her and stuff, since she was throwing up so much, and to take her back the next day. So I came back the next day because she was still unwell, obviously. Then they gave her a crop wash, which basically a crop wash is when a vet will put a little bit of water into the bird's crop, and then they will take a sample of the liquid from the bird's crop and put it under a microscope and see if there's anything in there. So we did that and found that she did have a bacteria infection, which is what I assumed it was. But they also said there could be a chance she might have something stuck in her crop, but they don't know. They can't find that from a crop wash. And this specific avian vet, you can't do like x-rays there. In fact, I don't think any vets near me do x-rays on birds. It's just not really a big thing in my country. Maybe that is common in the US, but here in New Zealand, vets actually don't have the same amount of technology as like vets in America do. We're very far behind on that kind of stuff here. They basically said we're just gonna treat it as a bacteria infection and hope that's what it is. So I started on the medication, and she actually started to slowly get better after being on medication for a few days. I was keeping her in her own separate cage away from the boys, since she was, you know, still quite sleepy and lethargic, and so the boys wouldn't bother her trying to get food or anything, because Tofu can be a bit mean sometimes when he wants his food and someone else is eating, even though they have multiple food bowls, but whatever. So she started to perk up a bit, so I was really happy. Me and Will were really happy. We're like, oh, so she's gonna be fine. It must have just been an infection and now it's going away. Oh, they also wormed her at the same time as well, because they were worried about that too. So she got wormed too. The boys also have had their first worm treatment the other day, and they're getting a second dose soon. Anyway, so yeah, we thought she was getting better, stopped throwing up and stuff. And that lasted for a couple of days of her getting better. I was excited. I was hoping I would be able to put her back in the main cage again with the boys. But then she just suddenly went downhill again, just out of nowhere. She started throwing up again, but it still wasn't nearly as much as she was before the crop wash, but still throwing up. She started to spend a lot of time just sitting at the bottom of her cage, which is definitely not a good sign. Just started sleeping all the time, would barely eat any food, and she wouldn't eat any of her proper food, by the way. This whole time, she wouldn't eat any pellets, she wouldn't eat any veggies, or a little bit of veggies, but mostly all she would eat was seed, so I just had to keep giving her seed because that's all she would eat. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be picky and not let her eat seed if that's the only thing she's gonna eat, you know? But usually my bird's diet is pellets, vegetables, and a little tiny bit of seed. So I called the vet. They said basically there's not much else they can do. They've kind of done everything, but they will see her anyway, examine her again, see if there's anything new or whatever. So I took her to the vet. I had to wait another day so I could get an appointment, and she was even worse that day, sitting on the bottom of her cage, sleeping, barely eating. So they examined her, couldn't find anything that was different, but she was losing a lot of weight. She was sleeping at the vet, just sitting in her carrier sleeping at the vet, which was weird. Usually at the vet she would be very active, you know, looking around and stuff, and be a bit sassy and try to bite the vet and stuff, but she was just sleeping the whole time. And the vet basically said if we wanted to, we could try putting her on a bunch of different medication and just hope something works. But the vet basically said that she's very weak, she's losing weight. Do you really want to do that? It could be something stuck in her crop, but if it was, she's too weak to do surgery, and there's only one vet in my city that does surgery on birds. She's a different bird vet. I think I'm like clients with like 4 or 5 different vets in my city now, because I just been to so many different ones that have different vets that are better at different things. You don't even know if that's the problem. They won't do surgery on her in this state that she's in. She's just too weak and probably wouldn't survive. So basically, in the end, like I talked to the vet for a while. I talked to Will on the phone because he was at work. And the vet was so good. By the way, I have such good experience with vets, honestly. Like, I know some people can have really bad experiences, but I have had so many great experiences. Like, I love the vets that I go to. They are always just so helpful and kind, and they like genuinely seem like they really care. We all agreed in the end that the best option was to put her to sleep peacefully at the vet. So yeah, that's what we did, and it was really hard, but I would feel much worse if I took her home and she was dead the next day, you know, or starved herself or something, you know. Yeah, it was really hard. It was really hard couple of weeks, because everything just happened so fast, out of nowhere, and you know, her health would be better, and then it would be bad, and then better, and then it's just really bad. So it's really hard, unexpected. I didn't expect this to be the outcome at all. I really thought that she was gonna get better, but that's just life sometimes. Sometimes like shit just happens and you don't even know what it is. Like we don't even know what she really died from in the end, to be honest. But likely it was something stuck in her crop, but we don't even know that for sure, which it makes this even harder, because I'm like terrified there's something in the cage that did it, and the birds could be affected, the boys could be affected, I mean, but the boys are fine, thankfully. And if you're wondering, by the way, the boys seem to be doing fine. Tofu's been screaming a bit more lately. I don't know if that's because of that, or maybe he just likes screaming, but Tofu and Rin were kind of like mates, so I feel really bad for him. But thankfully Tofu and Yuki have each other, and they are really close. They preen each other and stuff, which is super cute. But speaking of Tofu's also been having some issues lately. So you may know, I did make a video a while ago talking about Tofu's tumor. So here's a little update on his tumor. It's really visible now. Oh, that was a good fly. I'm trying to get a better shot of it. He's not as handleable as Yuki is. Here we go, good boy. But you can see it's pretty big now. You can see it really easily now. It never used to be like that. And also, I've noticed he can't fly as well anymore because of it, which isn't surprising. You know, we did expect that to happen soon, but we didn't expect it to happen so soon, you know? It seems he can only fly like short distances now, and if he tries to fly like down there, which usually they would all fly down there, if he tries to do it, he usually ends up falling on the floor or smacking into something. So that also really sucks. He has been at the vet a couple times about the tumor. Last time he was at the vet was last month, I think, because we noticed the tumor was growing bigger quite quickly, so we weren't sure maybe it was time to do surgery now. but the vet still said, like, at the moment he's still a really happy bird. The tumor isn't bothering him that much. I mean, obviously now, just recently, he started not being able to fly as well, but he's not picking at it. It's not bleeding, so it's not actually causing him any pain, hopefully, because usually if something causes them pain, they'll be picking at it, and which will cause it to bleed and stuff. So for now, he seems to be doing okay, not in any pain, but it's still growing, and we booked the surgery like last month to do the surgery. But the vet was like, no, it's better that you don't do it yet, because, you know, he still has a high chance of not making it through surgery, but we're just worried that if we wait too long, like, it'll be even harder to do surgery. But I don't know. I do trust the vet. The vet that we're seeing for him is very experienced with bird surgery and stuff like that. So I do trust him. It's just, you know, obviously we're worried. I think just the vet knows that if we do surgery, there's not a high chance of him making it through surgery because it's a very complicated surgery. So we're trying to not do the surgery until we like have to, you know. I feel like we've just had some really bad luck this past couple of years with pets. Will's chicken has also been at the vet a bit lately because she hurt her foot, but now we think that she's got arthritis in her foot. It's a lot. So she's getting medication every day as well, but she's also 8 years old, so she's, you know, pretty old for a bantam chicken. But right now, we're doing good. We found a nice place to bury Ren under a nice rose. It was really hard. It really fucking sucked, but it's been like a week now. It took a little while to talk about it just because it's hard to talk about, obviously. I'm always a little bit nervous to talk about things like that because it's kind of hard to go through it again and again. I don't know. I just get really anxious about it sometimes, but I don't know why, because you guys are always just so supportive and nice, and I really appreciate all of you. I don't usually like making videos about talking about this kind of stuff, but I just wanted to kind of talk about everything and talk about update you guys about Tofu as well, and also just make sure to take your birds to a vet if they seem off, even just a little bit off to you. If they just seem like they're sleeping a little bit more than usual and you just feel it in your gut that something's wrong, take them to the vet, because trust your gut, honestly. Find a good avian vet for sure. I think it's just really important to advocate for taking your animals to the vet in general. Set up a bank account so you can put money aside for your animals too. I do that. I also like have insurance on my dog. I can't get insurance on my other animals because that's not a thing here, but I have insurance on my dog. But yeah, stuff just happens. Life just sucks sometimes, and sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it, and sometimes you just get unlucky and your animal gets sick and you don't know why, and there's nothing you can do. But I'm very grateful for what I have. I have a very supportive family and partner and you guys which really helps me, and I'm very lucky to have so many people around me that really helped me. And also I got this lovely card from the vet that they sent me, which was really sweet. I just thought it was really nice. It's just really sweet when they do things like that, and it has a little bird on the front, so it's really cute. But anyways, the boys, like I said, they're doing actually really well. They have each other, thankfully, and hopefully Tofu, well, he can't really get better, but hopefully his tumor doesn't get any worse anytime soon. I really hope that he still has a while with us, because, you know, surgery is a pretty big deal, so I'm hoping we can avoid that for as long as we can until he, you know, needs it. But right now, we're doing okay. I promise I won't be making a thumbnail posing with my bird's dead corpse with me crying in the corner. I'm sorry. My bird died? This is not a good time to make this joke. I cope with humor, okay? I'll see you guys in the next video, which hopefully will be not as sad. Bye guys.